What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video where we talk about Wijnaldum and what Jurgen Klopp thinks about his future, and also there is a big danger that Mohamed Salah could go to the 2020 Olympics. This has been today's biggest shock, biggest news. And combine that with Salah and Mane going to the Africa Cup of Nations. I mean, the final of the Olympics is at the start of the Premier League season, and Salah could not only miss the first full game of the Premier League, but he would also miss the whole pre-season of next season, and then he will be off for like 4, 5, maybe even 6 weeks in January and February for the Africa Cup of Nations. And combined with that, with Mane and Naby Keita also leaving for the Africa Cup of Nations, Liverpool have to be seriously worried. So more details on that later, but first let's talk about Wijnaldum. So Jurgen Klopp's position or approach here with players who are considering potentially leaving Liverpool, and we are talking about Jorginho Wijnaldum here, is to let them talk with other clubs with the hope that if they do that, they realize that Liverpool is the best place to stay. But that's a dangerous attitude to have, in my opinion. Let me know, guys, what do you think about this? This recently came out. Wijnaldum is considering leaving Liverpool, and Jurgen Klopp is happy to let Wijnaldum, who is the 4th choice captain at Liverpool, to explore his options through his representatives, his agent and his other representatives, mainly because that is how he has always approached such situations, Jurgen Klopp, believing it can often help a player subconsciously sharpen his understanding of what he already has at his disposal. And Dave Maddock, who is a journalist with close ties to Liverpool, believes that Gini Wijnaldum will extend his contract, but the age of the player, who will turn 30 years old this year, is stopping Liverpool offering him a long deal. Like, Wijnaldum probably wants a 3 or 4 year contract, and Liverpool are probably offering a 2-year contract to Wijnaldum, and that's why he's weighing up his options. And also, according to Simon Hughes, another journalist, he also mentions the story of Emre Can, who ran down his Liverpool deal in search of bigger and better things, and then he went to Juventus, where he was a bit part player, he wasn't a regular starter, and now it was announced that he just joined Borussia Dortmund. So the grass is not always greener outside Liverpool. Look at the cautionary tale of Coutinho. Look at what Coutinho did. Coutinho wanted to be a Champions League winner, so he went to Barcelona, and then 6 months later, Liverpool won the Champions League. So I mean, it's absolutely crazy, absolutely incredible how football works. So Coutinho really should be very big lesson to Wijnaldum and Emre Can as well, that if you leave Liverpool, you put the rest of your career at a big risk of having a serious decline. And Jurgen Klopp realizes that Wijnaldum recognizes this situation, a player who is perceptive enough to realize the consequences of the decisions of those before him, like the one made by Emre Can in January 2018. And Jurgen Klopp's technique makes sense in a way, because right now we are the best team on the planet. And Wijnaldum can talk to all the clubs in the world. I doubt that clubs who are in a similar position to Liverpool will seriously consider getting him, because, as I said, he's turning 30 years old this year. So will clubs like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich take on Wijnaldum? Maybe Bayern Munich, but the other clubs don't really see that happening. What I want is for Wijnaldum to stay at Liverpool, of course, because he's one of my favorite players. And Wijnaldum is a regular at Liverpool. Maybe he's fearing that in 1 or 2 seasons he will be phased out and maybe he will become a bench player. But I still think that staying at Liverpool, winning more trophies in the next 2 years, and maybe in the process becoming a bench player, is still a better option than going to maybe a Sevilla or a Valencia or maybe going to an RB Leipzig and fighting for trophies here and there, but not for league titles, not for Champions Leagues. And Liverpool right now is honestly the best team on the planet. It's my opinion, but I think that it's a fact as well, because we are the Champions League holders, we are about to win the Premier League hopefully, and also we have the Club World Championship in our trophy cabinet, which confirms that Liverpool is the best team in the world. So it's a big question what Wijnaldum will do with his future. And let me know, guys, do you think Jurgen Klopp's approach is right? He lets Wijnaldum talk to other clubs, and then probably Wijnaldum can weigh up his options. What Liverpool should do is probably offer Wijnaldum a 3-year contract, with the option that if Wijnaldum becomes like a bench player, if he doesn't start like more than 50% of the games at Liverpool, then maybe he has an option to leave on a cut price deal, something like that, because Wijnaldum has been a magnificent player for Liverpool, and I think he probably deserves to leave Liverpool in 2 years on his own terms. But it's a very difficult situation, and I'm not sure even I would let Wijnaldum leave right now. But if he doesn't accept the 2-year contract that Liverpool is offering him right now, it could be a difficult situation. And now the big story. Jurgen Klopp told the media today in his pre-match press conference before the Southampton Anfield game that he has plans to speak to Mohamed Salah about the fact that Egypt wants to call Mohamed Salah up to the Olympics this summer. I mean, it's absolutely ludicrous. I mean, Egypt has gone mad. Why on earth would you need Mohamed Salah for the Olympics? Yes, you can play probably like 3 over 24, aged over 24 players at the Olympics, and probably Egypt wants to go far in that tournament. But it's a complete disrespect. Not only will Salah join Egypt for the Africa Cup of Nations, for Salah to miss the whole of pre-season and the first Premier League game, it would completely disrupt his season. And not only that, but when will Salah get a rest? After the season finished, there is like a 1 or 2 week break, and then he has to go to the training camp before the Olympics. But this is what Jurgen Klopp said about the situation. No decision has been made yet. What I have to say to Mohamed Salah, I will say it to him, so that is all. Neither side has made a decision. I wish we could have the whole squad together for pre-season, but that is not possible for different reasons. The Olympics is a wonderful thing, but it would not be too cool. No decision made yet. I wish we could have the whole squad together for the pre-season. And the summer will already be difficult because the Euros will be on, and half the Liverpool squad will go to the Euros. So now to lose some African players like Mo Salah to the Olympics in the summer and then to the Africa Cup of Nations in the winter would make the start to the Liverpool season extremely difficult. And honestly, these news could actually disrupt Liverpool's season so much that we could finish only in 2nd or 3rd place in the Premier League, because I mean, Salah, Mane and Naby Keita, 3 of our best players, not playing for like 6 weeks in the middle of the season is bad enough. But if Salah misses the first game, and then probably we miss the second game as well, because you need to have a break after the Olympics, and the Olympics final is on the same day when the Premier League starts. So this is why it's going to be very difficult for Jurgen Klopp to accept this. And hopefully Jurgen Klopp will be able to persuade Mohamed Salah of the benefits of a summer where he is just resting on holiday and he's away from football, because he needs a break. He absolutely needs a break, Mohamed Salah, considering the absolutely incredible amount of work that he does on the field. The fact he plays nearly every game for Liverpool available is just, I mean, it's taking, sooner or later Salah will break down, and that's the big worry. And the Olympics is in Beijing, so if Salah does travel with Egypt, then Liverpool will surely have to bring in offensive reinforcements, considering that Sadio Mane will also be at the Africa Cup of Nations with Senegal. So it's an absolute must for Liverpool to bring in players that can strengthen the team. Robert Pires, the Arsenal legend, who was part of the Arsenal Invincibles, who won the title in 2004, going unbeaten in the season. He was asked if Liverpool could go unbeaten for the season, and this is what he said, and I quote, "Yes, because they have everything going for them. The team, the results, the luck, the manager." I think there are a lot of people who will agree. Considering how they have been playing for some time, I can't see who would trouble them. Even Manchester City, when I look at the Liverpool match against City, a 3-1 win for Liverpool at Anfield, there is too big a difference. It's how they all defend. They play in a 4-3-3 formation, and as soon as they lose the ball, especially in the middle, they are strong, they are physical. I thought they would have a little drop in speed because they don't stop playing and they keep traveling. After Boxing Day, I thought they would fall apart anyway. But no, the guys are still there physically. Today, technically, the Premier League has dipped a little. It's a bit of an observation people make here. When you see the squads of Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham or Arsenal, it's not as strong as it was a few years ago. The only ones who can trouble them are Manchester City. They will be champions by going unbeaten, but they can also beat our record. Everything has changed today. People will compare. But I think it was much harder in our time. As I said before, technically many teams, particularly the big ones, have gone down a notch. There were no cameras, no VAR. When the guys wanted to get stuck in, and he's probably talking about the defender roughing up the Arsenal players many times. And also he said this, and above all, when you played away from home, I remember the matches at Leeds, at Blackburn, at Bolton, you had to get used to nasty tackles. And this is what he thinks about Arsenal. I think Arsenal are quite close, fairly similar in terms of players, but not in terms of tactics, since we were playing in a traditional, very old-fashioned 4-4-2. But physically and technically, I think we are very similar. They, like us, have several players capable of making a difference, not only one or two. That's the strong point. So he was talking about and comparing maybe the Arsenal Invincibles to the Liverpool team. Sadio Mane is Pires, Roberto Firmino is Thierry Henry. Again, I don't think anyone can match Thierry Henry, even though Firmino is very good. Titi is too far ahead. That's why I would have liked to see a Virgil van Dijk, Thierry Henry duel. It would have been really interesting. Henderson. No, Pat Vieira is stronger, I'm sorry. Gilberto Silva too. And Pires says that Liverpool's big test will come when their own run without a defeat is ended. You win, there's no problem. You feel euphoric, invincible, which is normal. But when you lose for the first time in a long time, it's a real blow. You are not used to it. Psychologically, you take a hit and you have to be careful afterwards. They have been telling you for months that you are invincible, that you are the best team, and it can be brutal when that stops. And yes, Arsenal actually, even though they went invincible, they went unbeaten, they have drawn 12 games. So this Liverpool team, in my opinion, is better, and Robert Pires said the same as well. And after Arsenal lost to Manchester United 2-0 the next season, they went on a bad run, and in the end Manchester United pipped them to the Premier League title. So Arsenal, after they went unbeaten, they couldn't win the title back to back. That will be the biggest challenge for me, in my opinion, for Liverpool, to go again and win the title next season. It's extremely difficult, and it has been made even more difficult by the AFCON, Africa Cup of Nations, moved to January, Salah potentially going to the Olympics. These are all issues which Liverpool have to work on, to work out some solutions, and maybe sign some attacking players as well. And Andrew Robertson has backed Jurgen Klopp in his decision to actually field the kids against Shrewsbury. This is what Andy Robertson said about the situation. The manager is our leader. He is the one that makes our decisions. We stand by every decision he makes, whether it's team selections or days off. He's been very clear what he wants, and we stand by him. So that's the player's perspective. I think he's earned the right to make these decisions because he has been phenomenal for all of us. So long may that continue. He's made the best decision for the club, and we all stand by that. And also Robertson suggested that Liverpool aren't too bothered about achieving records and going unbeaten. for the whole seaon. Arsenal's record of 49 games unbeaten in the league is also in sight for Liverpool. This is what Robertson said. If the records come this season, then so be it. We just want to win the next game, and if we continue to work like that, then we might start ticking the games down. But all we want is the best we can be and try to win the league. And that's the kind of mentality that you need to have. Virgil van Dijk also was asked about his Liverpool career so far and what else he wants to achieve in his career. And this is what he said: "The decision to join Liverpool I made has not been too bad. I'm 28 years old now, and I want to fulfill every single dream I ever had in football. Life can be short, your career can be short as well. I want to enjoy every minute of it. I'm enjoying playing with this team and this manager. We can't look too far ahead, but right now I'm enjoying it. I don't look at the table. You only need to look at the table at the end of the season." I mean, is that really true though? I mean, they say this in the media because they know it's the right thing to say, but is it really true that the players don't look at the table? I mean, I'm not really convinced. And also another good news for Liverpool is that Atletico Madrid's record signing, João Felix, could miss the Atletico Madrid-Liverpool game in the Champions League last 16 because he actually picked up an injury. According to the club's official website, he suffered a muscle injury which was picked up in a league clash with Leganes at the weekend. And according to a Reddit post, Felix will definitely miss the first leg and maybe even the second leg at Anfield, which I think is a big advantage for Liverpool. Even though João Felix hasn't been like in blistering form for Atletico Madrid, he only scored 2 goals in La Liga this season. But I think that he's still an influential player, and he has that X factor, that flair, that he can unlock a defense with an individual piece of brilliance. And of course, Liverpool are sweating on the fitness of Sadio Mane. They are hoping that Mane will be back from his hamstring injury after winter break. After the Southampton game, Liverpool will have a 2-week break. So we will theoretically be at full strength for the away leg on February the 18th, if we don't suffer any other injuries. And Atletico may also have Edinson Cavani in their team because Marca stated that an 18 million euro bid has been made by Atletico Madrid to Paris Saint-Germain for Cavani. And you might ask, why is that fee so low? It's because Cavani's contract is up at the end of the season, but Atletico Madrid want to sign him early to bring him in to help them move up the table in the Spanish league and also to help them against Liverpool. So it's going to be a very tricky and very interesting Champions League tie. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.